All right, so before we really dive in and I teach you what calories and macros are and how to track them and how to make adjustments and all the nitty gritty stuff, I want to simplify nutrition for you. And the best way to do this is off of Eric Helm's nutrition priority pyramid. So I'm gonna give you my best handwriting. So I hope that it's readable. Okay, now top to bottom, top being the most important, what you should worry and just focus on first before the bottom, goes in this order. Number 1 is calories. Number 2, macros. Number 3, micros. Number 4, meal timing. Number 5, supplements. This is most important to least important. Now, let's simplify nutrition, because in today's age, especially with social media, you might follow a big keto advocate. You might follow someone who is really into intermittent fasting, all these different diets. And with all these experts and dietitians, nothing against any of those people, they really dive deep into a specific type of diet. And really, when you go into a specific type of diet, a lot of the information that we read out there is regarding stuff like this. The more of the least important things you should be worried about. The reason that I don't ever preach a particular diet is because I really just want to simplify it for you and give you a minimalist approach. You have to understand the foundations of nutrition and how it affects your body before you start worrying about stuff like this. So what I tell people is 90% of the questions I get regarding nutrition, in my emails and DMs and just every day being a trainer, is stuff such as examples, I'm trying to lose weight. Should I not be eating after 8 p.m.? Or what is the best food to eat right when I wake up to help me lose weight? Or what sources of foods do you recommend if I'm trying to gain weight but not body fat and add muscle mass? Like all these really micro questions that would fall into the categories of this. And don't even get me started on supplements and questions such as what fat burner should I use? We'll talk about fat burners later. I'm not totally against them, but I do want to bust some myths and simplify that for you. But before that, I want you to understand how important these two are and why really you need to obtain the skill and understanding of these two before you even consider these three. Let's go through them briefly. Calories. Everyone knows what calories are, okay? Calories in versus calories out is everything. You have a specific amount of calories that you burn every day. It is true that younger people naturally have higher metabolisms as you age, especially women going through menopause and hormonal changes. It might really affect your metabolism and slow it down. Other things that affect it are how much muscle mass you have, how active you are. Someone who is an athlete and has 5 practices a week is going to be considered very active and is going to burn on average way more calories than the average person. Okay, so activity level, age, genetics, hormones, all that stuff takes into account how many calories you burn per day, which is called your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, which essentially is just your metabolism, okay? So that plays a part and is very individual for everyone and their circumstances. But to gain weight, we know you have to eat more calories than you burn per day. To lose weight, you have to eat less calories than you burn per day. So to summarize this, you could be eating completely healthy foods. Your meal timing could be perfect. You could be using all the supplements in the world. Heck, your macros could even be on point. But if your goal is to lose weight and you're simply doing all those things correctly but eating above or directly at your TDEE, the amount of calories you burn every day, you're not going to lose a pound. So the first thing you need to do is put yourself in a calorie deficit. Calories are king. Even if you're gaining weight, you got to put yourself in a surplus. Calories are king. Get that across your head. There's been studies done of professors at universities going on a month diet only off junk food. There was one in particular of someone who was only eating Pop-Tarts for a month and they lost weight because they were in a calorie deficit. Okay, so calories in versus calories out, that's number 1. Now, there's a difference between losing weight and losing fat. Someone might be in a calorie deficit, but if they are not eating a proper macronutrient ratio, macros are your carbs, fats, and proteins, to support lean muscle tissue and muscle preserve or muscle gain, then they're going to be going into a catabolic state. and burning through muscle and just losing weight. I guarantee you would be a lot more satisfied losing only 3 pounds of body fat and preserving lean muscle tissue compared to someone who just loses 12 pounds of weight off the scale. With that said, to preserve lean muscle tissue and to create a stimulus in your muscles for them to grow, you have to be weight training and resistant training. But I'm going to assume that all of you guys are already doing that, okay? So, macros. This is what supports and creates body composition. Same thing when you're bulking too. You could be gaining weight, but if you aren't eating enough protein to support muscle mass or enough carbs to support your training and energy levels, then the chances of you really gaining muscle compared to body fat is a lot lower. So you might be gaining more body fat opposed to muscle. Calories in versus calories out, that's what controls the number on the scale. But then to go deeper than that, the body composition, your physique, is created from the macronutrients. Those two are king. Those two are what I usually preach. I really don't even get into these three because it's really unnecessary if you can't even get these two consistently on par with your nutrition and your diet, okay? Let's dive into the other three so I can give you my opinion on them so you have an understanding of their purpose and where they play into part with this pyramid, priority pyramid. Let's assume you have these two down, okay? What are micronutrients? Micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals. Essentially, they're your food sources. So when people tell you you should be eating whole foods and eating healthy, that is correct. But the reason that is not the first thing I ever say to people is that completely neglects these two. But what are the benefits of making your diet have a lot of micronutrients? Okay, it's going to support a lot of the internal things going on into your body. We all know that getting a proper, your adequate amount of vitamins and minerals is going to support a lot of the bodily functions that we need, such as energy levels, clarity, helping us not be lethargic, helping us not get sick, all the vitamins and minerals. Like I said, I'm not going to get deep into that because I think it's unnecessary. If you have these two on par, most likely you're going to be eating in moderation. And what happens is most people will lean towards choosing healthy food items when they're tracking their calories and macros because they realize that with a set amount that they're trying to hit per day, they don't have room to be fitting in all these unhealthy foods. And they can do that, but they're not going to be as satiated and full because it takes a lot less food volume with unhealthy foods to hit your daily intake compared to a balanced, healthy diet that is full of a lot of micronutrients because those foods are a lot more filling, a lot more veggies, a lot more fruits, a lot more fiber for the most part, and your digestive system with micronutrient dense foods is going to thank you as well. Okay, so these three, meal timing's next, okay? People get so caught up in meal timing. I hear about intermittent fasting. What should my window be? Should I not eat after 8 p.m.? What should I eat before workout? You know, I think there's some things that we are going to talk about and I think that are important. Like I said though, you got to get these two down, consider the micronutrients. Then when it comes to meal timing, don't worry about it. You could eat one meal per day, and if you are still doing these three, you're going to see the results that you want. It is until you do these three and you decide, okay, I really want to optimize my health and take it to the next level, then we can start talking about meal timing. We can start talking about, eating high glycemic carbs before and after a workout. Where should low glycemic carbs and complex carbs fit in our day-to-day diet? When should we be having the majority of our fats? When should our protein intake be? How far apart should it be spaced out? Don't worry about that until these two are up to par, and then you have your micronutrient balanced diet after that. Lastly, supplements. Look, I worked at GNC for over 4 years, okay? And going into GNC, I already had a really good understanding of this pyramid. Unlike a lot of other GNC employees who maybe don't, they really bought in and believed that supplements were the fix to help people achieve their physique and body weight goals. Supplements are not going to be the answer. It is the last resort, and if anything, every transformation I've made for myself did not contain any supplement. That being said though, there are some good ones out there that I will go into later into this course that if you want to try out after you have these other priorities down, then you can give them a try, and they might help you supplement your diet to make things easier for you or take your physique and body weight to the next level, assuming you do those things correctly. Okay, so understand this. This is step one before I can teach you how to track your calories and macros and really help you understand exactly what they are and what role they play. Thank you for watching this video. Leave it a thumbs up if you have yet to do that. And I hope this video helped you out. So like I said, this course, Flexible Dieting Expert, will be launched in like 2 weeks. It's gonna be a full throttle course, tons of lectures, lots of hours of content, and it's gonna help you learn how to track your calories and macros on your own so you can always have control of your body weight year round. And I'll keep you guys updated when that's released. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Hope you all have a good one.